Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. I'm trying out a smoky purple lip liner today with some lip gloss. I'm feeling it. I had some fun with makeup today, because why not? So for today's video, we have a book haul. Let's just get into it. So first off, we have The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. Now, Olivia Reads a Latte is where I kind of heard somebody talk about this book. I had seen it around, didn't really know what it was about, and she was the first one that really talked about it. And she really enjoyed it and said it was a lot of fun. And even when reading the synopsis, I can't really explain to you exactly what it is. It sounds like it's a murder mystery, but the characters are from like Sherlock Holmes himself, Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dracula, things like that, which sounds super fun and interesting. It's like a collaboration of all of those classical characters. I think she's the daughter of Dr. Jekyll. If she's not the daughter, then she's investigating about the daughter of Dr. Jekyll. So it sounds like super fun and something that I would be intrigued by. Next one is This Golden Flame by Emily Victoria, and this is just something I got from my Fairy Loot, so we're not going to go into the synopsis because I talked about it a little bit there, but obviously I picked this up. And The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. Next one is Muse of Nightmares by Leilani Taylor. I have Strange the Dreamer, the paperback edition of Strange the Dreamer as well. I haven't read it, but my husband really liked this author and he read this Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. So I picked this up because it was a really good price. It was like $4, and since we already had Strange the Dreamer, I'm gonna want to know what happens. I have a really bad problem of not finishing books because I want to know the result. So I picked this up just in case. But Strange the Dreamer is basically, the synopsis is that basically there's this mysterious city of Weep and Laszlo Strange is trying to investigate that. Another book I got for a really good deal that was like $2 is Roseblood by A.G. Howard. And I've heard of this author. They did like, I think it's called Splintered. It's an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and this is like a Phantom of the Opera gender bent retelling. I don't know much about it other than that, but I really like Phantom of the Opera, so I thought this would be a fun one to pick up, and it was just a couple dollars. Next one I grabbed is Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray, and this is the second to The Diviners. Well, it's the Diviners series, but it's the second one to the first book, The Diviners. And The Diviners is kind of about a girl whose uncle is obsessed with the occult, and she has some supernatural power that can help in this murder case and to help catch a killer. I love kind of serial killer stuff, catching a killer type of a thing, so I think this series will be really fun for me. Because this was really affordable, I went ahead and got the second one, even though I don't have the first one yet, but I have found the first one for about $10, I think, on Amazon, so I might try to, or somewhere else. I might try to pick that one up in the future, but I just really wanted to get my hands on some of these. Another one I picked up is Damsel by Elena K. Arnold. I think is how you say her name, Elena. This is a story about a damsel kind of in distress type of a situation, but it's got a twist to it. The prince must slay a dragon and rescue a damsel after the king dies. The princess wakes up after being rescued and everything is like a fairy tale, but not really what it seems. So it sounds like there's some dark twist to this, and it sounds like she's being rescued, but she doesn't know why, she doesn't know what happened, and it sounds like it's kind of going to be an interesting take on this. The next book I got is Red Hood by Elena K. Arnold, and actually when I bought this, I did not put together that I was buying the same author's works. I had had my eye on this, I think it came out last January. I had had my eye on this since then because Red Riding Hood retellings are kind of interesting to me, and I love like any type of wolf character or animal characters. But this was intriguing to me, and I kind of had my eye on it for a long time, so when I saw it for a decent price, I went ahead and just snapped it up. This one is about a girl, and on homecoming, she's running for her life. A wolf attacks, Bijou fights back, a new moon rises, and with it, questions. I think it's interesting her name is Bijou, that's also cool. But this just sounds like a really interesting Red Riding Hood retelling. Next book I picked up is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. I'm sure you've heard about this book a lot. And again, I've heard a lot of people talking about it. It's a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, except every so often one of the princesses goes missing, one of the sisters goes missing, and they die, and they are found dead. And it's kind of like unraveling that story. Why are they disappearing? Why are they dying? What's going on? And as you can tell, I really like retelling stories, so I was really interested to pick this up. I heard Haley and Bookland talk about it, and a few other people talk about it, say that it was really good, and I'm interested to see what I think. The next book I picked up is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. Somebody can correct me on that name if they want to. This I was looking at ever since it kind of came out. I think it was last August it came out. I was really intrigued by this because I really love The Greatest Showman, and I thought this would be similar. And I also recently read Caraval, the Caraval series, and this kind of gave me those vibes. It's saying that it's a mix between Moulin Rouge and Phantom of the Opera, which I love both of those things, and I like magic, and it's kind of pitched as a circus type book. And like on the back or in the synopsis, it talks about the three characters: the star, the master, the magician. And I don't know, I don't really know much about this, but I kind of want to go into it not knowing much about it other than it being a circus magic type setting. So I'm pretty excited to get into this. So the next few books that I picked up, you will recognize this because it's been everywhere recently, is A Court of Thorns and Roses. So I talked about these books by Sarah J. Maas. I talked about these books a little bit in my last couple of videos because I did read A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. I just finished that one, and I'm going to continue with the series. But because I was going to continue with the series, I only had the first two on paperback that I had bought for like $4, $2, dirt cheap. They were banged up. I just wanted them to have them to read. So because of that, and with everything else coming out, and because I wanted to continue the series, I went ahead and got the new editions. So I got A Court of Thorns and Roses, which looks like this. They're super pretty, by the way. I'm really happy with them. A Court of Mist and Fury. A Court of Wings and Ruin. A Court of Frost and Starlight. I got all of those, and if you don't know what A Court of Thorns and Roses is, it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it has fae and fairies and kind of magical creatures in it. And despite getting all of those, I also got A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, and I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I got this because I was finishing up A Court of Thorns and Roses and starting A Court of Mist and Fury when this released. I knew I wanted to continue. I knew I wanted to read them, so I went ahead and got this. I know this is Cassian and Nesta, which probably spoils a lot of stuff for me, but that's fine. And I'm going to read it in order, but I'm excited to get into this. I'm excited that I didn't have to wait for this like everyone else, and then I can just kind of go right into it when I want to. Next book I got was actually House of Earth and Blood, a Crescent City novel by Sarah J. Maas. I got this, I know it seems like I just got a ton of Sarah J. Maas and like that I'm a huge fan, but really I just started reading Court of Thorns and Roses and I enjoyed it, and I wanted to see what her, let's start this argument. I don't think A Court of Thorns and Roses is YA. I definitely think it's new adult, if not adult, but because of some of the content that's in it. So I was interested to see how her adult fantasy writes, if it's more world building, if there's more details in that. And honestly, when this came out and everybody was raving about it and talking about it and just hyped about it, I did not care. I didn't care to read it. I had no interest in it. I did not care. But someone pitched it, and maybe that's just what it is. It's the synopsis, not a pitch. But I heard it said that the main character's friend is killed and she's trying to look into it, but she hires the help, or gets the help, from a fallen angel who's a detective to investigate. And I think for some reason when it was like a fallen angel investigator clicked in my head, I thought that that was the coolest thing, and I really wanted to see how that played out. So that's why I ended up picking this one up, and I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. If you've read this, please let me know what you think. Alright everyone, that's it for today's video, so I will see you next time. Bye.